to the Red Wings front office. Chelly actually apologized for all his cheap shots and dirty plays over his 27 years and had a lot of regrets, except for one.
I'm going to have to admit, one wasn't the thing I did to Brian Propp because he broke 2 of my fingers before I tried to bust his head open on the glass there. So I'll never take that back, even though I did have a few beers with Propp.
Hey, bust a guy's head open, have a few beers with him. That's good old-time hockey.
Just a game.
There it is.
The music of it.
Joining the rush, 3-on-2. Oyster fires into the glove of Climbing. Nice stop there.
That sounded like it hit his pad, then maybe into his glove. What a nice play that was, and you can tell the forwards were just exhausted from the Stars. They couldn't get any speed to catch this 3-on-2. Mahachik back. Nice play by Oyster. Oh, that's an unbelievable stop. Looking at that, it looks like Oyster's going short side. It hits Fortuna's stick and changes direction. But that's positioning. That mitt did not move. It was just there. Look at that go right into the glove. And he says, wow, this is it.
Yeah. Felt the tug and then looked to his left. There it is. Nathan Oyster saw those 10 points in the postseason. That is second in D scoring this postseason. 36 shots from the back end for Nathan Oyster. Wolves have had a lot of shots from the point. Archer's coolest second in the league with 31. Noah Welch fourth with 26.
The other note, the Wolves scored, of course, 3 goals in the first period. That's 10 straight games. They have scored a goal in the first period, which is always nice.
Yes.
Usually that is a good indication how things are going to go. And you got to remember, in the first series that Texas played, the first 40 minutes of all 4 games, Rockford did not dent the net.
Yes. The ball 5 goals that series in the third. Now working at Stigler, shoots, he scores! Tim Stapleton makes it 4-2.
That is such a pretty play. And talk about coming out of your zone with authority. Joey Crabb makes just a delicious pass. He waits for the traffic to come to him. Stafford's going to push across, and look at this backhander. He leads Stapleton. I'm not sure what is taking place there with Ludwig, but he's looking at the puck, and he doesn't see Stapleton come from behind. And we know Timmy Stapleton could just turn it up a notch on anybody, but watching the puck kill Ludwig, and just good patience overall by Stapleton. He knew Climbing was going to come across. He went down low, and of course the shot up under the bar.
Stapleton now has points in 3 straight games. The Wolves, for the second time, have a 2-goal lead. They'd like to tighten it up defensively this time. But it's the Stars that are on the attack. They answered with 2 quick goals the last time. The Wolves doubled their pleasure.
Yeah. I think it be a little bit more in thinking mode defensively and making sure the puck's ahead of you.
Sterling a bump on Greg Rowell. Up ice, lead pass all the way down, icing waved off. Stapleton getting the goal at 2:16. His 4th of the postseason from Crabb and Anderson. Wisniewski has the puck now. Backhands it deep for Sterling. Sterling carries out of the corner. Chips it loose. Wisniewski into the slot. Back door for Crabb. One too many passes. The Stars broke it off.
His shot too. Let it go.
Crabb lets it go. Didn't get a lot on it. Fall up hole. Pushing it to the point. Wisniewski over to Welch. Down back deep. Crabb pokes it loose for Sterling. 3:20 gone by the second period. Wolves lurking for another goal. The Stars get the clear.
Very tired group, the Stars. That's a couple of times we have seen the Wolves with pretty good control offensively, and really a tired-looking Stars team in their own zone.
Wisniewski would have loved that one, but he was trying to think unselfishly. We've seen him shoot the puck so well.
He had 5 shots in the first period, too.
Yeah, let the Wolves.
Now here is the play. Sterling sets the table. Excellent move. You know, not a bad play when you look at it, but you have to feel that back pressure, and there was 2 men almost with Krog by the time the play was going to develop. You did have Stevenson dropping down for the block, so I think that's what Wisniewski saw. Didn't want to, obviously as a defenseman in that area, have his shot blocked, so he tried to make the pretty play.
Stevenson off his stick and in. And then trying to battle it loose. Seaver a little poke. Now Ben and Chelios will work to the corner. Chelios goes down but makes the play. Just 28 years separating those two in the battle. Right around towards Gagnon. Taken away by Anderson. Up ice for Stapleton. Wolves attacking again. 3-on-3. Stapleton pulls up to the point. Coolest shot. Skips through and climbing again. In good position. Made the save.
Yeah, that hits some traffic. And that's all you can do as a goaltender. Try to move along and make yourself big.
Very technically strong is Matt Climbing. Out at center. Lobbed up ice. Anderson will dump it in.
That was a good play by Kula. I'm not sure if you recognize the pressure. If he loses control of that, it's a 2-on-0 against Kula. Sweetly moved the puck quickly to the neutral zone.
Army has to be careful with the stick reaching in on Hutchinson. Want to take a penalty here. Stars have already had 3 power plays and some good chances, but they're 0 for 3 in the man advantage. Icing will be waved off. Finally had to play it. Nice work there by Mahachek on the hustle. The center going to say offsides. Mahachek apparently touched the puck while he's still in Texas territory.
Well, he did. I have a perfect vision of where I sit right on the blue line. And Warren Peters explaining that that should be all the way down, and they do get a bit of a gift. They get to center ice with this face-off. Not much different than what we saw earlier with the Janchevsky power play forced offside. This is the line I think you need to be aware of as the Wolves. It's a line that can take the body and try to generate something because of that. You need to be smart with the puck, get it out of the zone.
Wache, Sawada, and Peters out there. A rugged line. Wache, hard of the forecheck, forces a turnover. Peters' shot turned away by McIntyre. McIntyre stopped 18 shots in period number 1. Comes his first to the second. Another shot, and McIntyre holds on.
Brian Sippets has control of his puck, and he just gives it up. And he's about 20 feet from the blue line, and there's no real pressure. You've got to get the thing out. If you can't make a direct pass or a play, it's got to go out first. That's what you've got to be thinking. Here's Simmons, picks the puck up. Look at it. There's no pressure. Who's that for? Sawada turns it around, and another good play offensively. Peters picks it up with some room, and he throws it on net. And watch Wache. He almost knocks his puck down. And Drew McIntyre able to hold on to the shot. But there's one of those plays that we've mentioned many times that should not have taken place because you had good control, and it's got to get out.
Brian Sippets playing his 6th straight game. No points in 7 playoff games, but put in there for defensive purposes, especially on the penalty kill. Now Anthony Stewart coming up ice. He's riding quite a point streak. Points in 7 straight games. 4th longest streak in the AHL this postseason. Kozik trying to fire it through. Broken up. Out to center. Pair to Lindgren. Lead pass. Baudouin chasing it down. Has traffic going to the net, but a shot off target. Hutchinson in the backhand able to keep it alive.
They are going to jump. I think, well, watch their defense. They're going to try to get up in the play to make something happen. If they miss the net like we saw, the Wolves, if they get back in position, they're going to have some odd man situations the other way. But be smart, because I think the most dangerous guys now are going to be their defense.
That's one of the things that the Wolves so good at, the transition. If you gamble offensively and give up odd man rushes with that offensive arsenal that Chicago has, they can make you pay.
Yeah.
Warren through the neutral zone. Hutchinson joining the rush. Trying to work around Chelios. Good pressure there by Pohl. He took it away. Archer's Kula finds a handle, middle of the ring. He will dump it in. Here's around towards Pohl. Krog out in front. Back in behind the net for Krog to the line. Kula one-timer. Punched away. That was a knuckle puck.
Yeah, floater.
Now Pohl looking to center. Off a stick and past Chelios to center.
We saw Andrew Hutchinson move up, and that's what you want to have happen. Be strong defensively, because you'd love to have a forward playing back in the defense, backing up, because that'll give you a chance or two to manipulate that area if it is a forward back there. With an icing, it goes all the way down now after a puck sent down, so the faceoff comes back to the left of Drew McIntyre.
Spencer Mahachek in your picture just going through. 2 goals. Missed a game with a little bit of a whiplash after taking an L, or what did he take?
He took everything.
Behind.
Yeah.
Yes, a hit from behind from Warren Peters. Now Stevenson to Ben on the backhand. Forced up top. Directs it deep. Brandon Wilson couldn't center it through. Chris Chelios. These two have done plenty of battles in the National Hockey League. Kept in by by Garrett Stafford. Greg Rowell's shoulder by Calder. That could have been interference, perhaps. Goes uncalled. Sterling got to lineman now. Taylor says same way. Tried to send it ahead for Sterling on a breakaway, but it was broken up by Stevenson. Stevenson gambling now pushes it out top. McIntyre able to get a piece of that.
That was Rowell. I think they got a nice chunk of the puck on the very tight feed in or across the goal crease. McIntyre was there. That's good
McIntyre, good play. The Wolves a little scrambly right now, and their netminder will hold on. He has stopped 20 of 22 Texas shots. Wolves lead 4-2 with 12:20 to go in the second.
Welcome to my new abode. This is awesome. Wow.
Who knew you were so environmentally responsible?
Yeah. Enviro what?
Your house made of empty Bud Light cans.
Oh, they're not empty. Oh, here we go.
Yeah! There's Bud Light in the fridge made of Bud Light.
It's the sure sign of a good time. Just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Oh, look, a window. Sorry, honey.
There's a great place just around the corner that offers even more relief.
When we instituted our big relief price cut at Julasco, we told ourselves, as customers continue to tighten their belts, we would too. So we're going to keep cutting prices on even more of the items you shop for every week. The same great quality, the same great service. Only now you'll discover more savings than ever before, on top of the savings you've come to expect.
More price relief is just around the corner at Julasco.
4-2 in favor of the Wolves in Game 7 of the West Division Finals. Hey, Wolves fans, purchase your tickets to your next Wolves game with your Discover card. You'll automatically be entered into the Discover Puck giveaway. Each game, 10 lucky winners will win an authentic autographed Discover pregame puck used during the Wolves warm-up.
Still a lot of shots. 23 surrendered by the Wolves, a little bit better, although puck possession in the last couple of minutes in favor of the Stars in the offensive zone. But I think shoring up in their own zone and playing much better defensively. It's a big line, too, to try to grind it out for the Stars.
Swada Peters and Wache out there once again. Wolves get last change, so they send out Mahachek, Cormier, and Riley Hosafel.
It was a very good play by Oyster to get that puck up, and it was a foot race that Mahachek was able to get to first, bring it down, but by the time he took it to the ice with his hand, it was read well by Fortunas.
Mahachek with 2 goals in this game, and a good challenge here for 3 highly touted prospects for the Atlanta Thrashers. Hosafel, Mahachek, and Cormier, the best prospects up front for the Wolves. And the future of the Thrashers, so a good challenge here for them. Oyster, a nice little shoulder there on Wache. He's back in his own zone. Long change in the second period. The Wolves able to get fresh troops on the ice in time. Wisniewski looking poised. Ships it over. Noah Welsh has some time and space. Takes it off of Anderson's stick into the offensive zone. Stapleton chasing after. Boy, has he been noticeable with his speed this game.
Excellent.
Lost his stick, and Hutchinson to pick it up as the puck is gone back behind the Wolves net. Jamie Benn, you touched on it during the break. He's been very dangerous. His shifts here in the second period.
He's almost monotonous in the style. He gets the puck and he slows it down, but he's so aggressive with the puck and holding onto it in puck possession. Oops.
Now Gagnon sprung on a breakaway, backhand forehand, he scores!
What a pass by Trevor Ludwig right up the middle of the ice. And Gagnon, how does he get behind everybody? That just cannot happen, but he does. And a very nice move he makes on McIntyre. He goes forehand, moves him across McIntyre, and then goes back to the forehand. Here's Ludwig, collects the puck. Where's the defense? Well, you know what? They're in the midst of a change, yep. And that certainly cost the Wolves. That is a bad change that is recognized by Ludwig and Gagnon. As a forward, you can see that. You put yourself in an area to become available, and the pass was perfect. Full flight, nice fake, and then back, and just underneath, I think, the left pad. I'm lucky that paddle wasn't down to stop it.
Well, the Texas Stars making it very obvious. Game 7 is not going to be an easy one. As Climbing turns it away. Wolves trying to work back on the attack. They started the period strong, scoring. 2:16 in, Tim Stapleton, but Since that goal, it's been the Stars that have pushed the pace.
How many times we talk about the changes in the second period, though, in those kind of situations? If you don't have control of the puck, you can put your team in jeopardy of a chance against.
9:10, the time of the Texas goal. Gagnon's fourth for Ludwig and Stafford. And it's a one-goal game once again as Greg Rollo trying to find some room. Pinned up behind the net by two Wolves defenders. Now Wilson wraps it out in front, nobody home. Brett Sterling able to skate to center now. Sterling across the line, leads it off for Oyster towards Poole. Hit Poole in the face. And I think it's in his equipment. He's going to take the puck right to the bench. You can see the puck.
Oh, yeah. Look at that souvenir.
So now the draw comes out to center when we return.
At Kia, we're proud to have gone where no other car company has gone before. The Kia Forte offers impressive standard horsepower with fuel efficiency, class-leading space, class-leading standard advanced technology, and class-leading standard safety features, and was awarded a top safety pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. When you add it all up, the Kia Forte is the obvious choice over the Corolla and Civic. And right now, lease the Forte for $149 a month.
Through the game, there's been 7 goals scored. The Wolves have 4 of them, so that's the good thing. So let's take a look at our Xfinity TV from Comcast upcoming schedule. Watch your Chicago Wolves on C100 with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Call 1-800-XFINITY today for a great offer. Well, folks, the Wolves need to win for this to take place, but if they do win tonight, they go right back at it Thursday night in beautiful Ontario, not so much Hamilton, but yes, in Hamilton. And that game will start here locally at 6:30. And we believe it's Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday back here at Allstate.
Don Lieber trying to motivate the troops. His team up by 1. Stars the most recent goal scorers, Eric Gagnon. Tangled up with Anderson from Janczeski.
Janczeski get the referee on his outlet pass.
Now Chelio is tracking back in his own zone. Archer's cooled up. It now. Knifed away from him. Chelios will get to it first. Finds some time and space to clear it out.
Big hit by Ben on Chelios. He's done that quite a bit in the series, but that's a good play. You see what Chelios did there? He didn't force it to an area where he thought a teammate was. He looked, found some space, and he put it out through that space into the neutral zone.
Chelios will dump it in. Stapleton trying to take it away from Climby. Sawada helping out his goaltender at the line. Welch holds the zone. Now grab after, runs it in, and Hutchinson. Puck squirts out to center. Wisniewski has to track back to his own blue. Picked up by Anderson, taken away by Peters. Counterattack now for the Stars. Peters looking out in front, off the stick, and it was just behind Sawada. On the counter now the Wolves. Hozoffo will dump it in. Knocked down by a high stick. Gordon gets it first. Across the ring. Settled down by Welch. Over to his partner, Wisniewski. Head up, looking for some room. Blocked by Waukje. Loose in the slot, knocked to the boards. Picked up there by Hozoffo. Off an ankle. Pinballs out in front. And Climby's seen enough. He will cover.
Now that was scrambling. A couple of airborne shots that were knocked down with a high stick. And the Wolves throwing it across from the near side to Welch on the opposite side, but it was bouncing around. And able to sort it out eventually, get something towards the net. Climby said he's seen enough of the bouncing puck. Takes a whistle, gets new legs, fresh legs on the ice, the defensive side of things, as the Wolves do offensively.
Stars with 24 shots, but they come in averaging just under 28 a game in the playoffs.
That's something they talked about after last game. They felt they did not have enough chances with shooting the puck. At least they should have shot it more, and they certainly have in this one.
Brett Sterling trying to battle it loose. Anthony Stewart helping out. Now it's Krog working behind it. Soft dish in front and stabbed wide by Anthony Stewart.
Just a stick, I think, at the last second.
Shot, rebound, and Sterling's offering a knuckle puck again, and Climby fights that off, but a nice shot by Krog, trading the rebound.
Well, I think when you watch this puck get to Sterling, here's Krog, shot on target, steered away with a blocker, and Sterling gets a shoot it, and it's on end. It starts to jiggle a little bit as he's releasing it, so he doesn't get a lot on it. And as a goaltender, good focus though to stay with that change up.
Cormier to take the draw against Gagnon. Gagnon, a Phoenix Coyotes draft pick, won the draw. Now it's taken away by Hosafel. Mahachek shot in tight, looking for the hat trick. It won't go. Seager's pass behind Gagnon, who dumps it in. The Coyotes never signed Aaron Gagnon. He's looked very good this season with the Texas Stars, forcing another turnover. Ben at the blue line, putting it over to Seager in the corner. After him is Kulda. Also up the boards for Mahachek. Ben hits him, but it's pushed to center. Cormier working in. Hands it off to Hosafel. Try to return pass. Jancheski took that away. Gagnon using the net, able to avoid the pressure of Cormier. Now Gagnon all the way in. Leaves it off for Seager. Seager will dump it deep for Gagnon. Kulda, a bump. Now pushing it from McIntyre. A stop on Wilson. Boy, that developed out of nowhere.
It was off the bench. Landon Wilson went immediately from the bench right to that area. Found the puck in the stick and a one-timer.
Warren with 5 shots in the first period. Hit by Chelios as he tried to cross the line. Anthony Stewart hands it to center. Stafford dumps it back in. Chelios right off the stick of Sterling. Krog after it in the neutral zone. Pinned up. Under 7 to go in the second period. Wolves leading 4-3. Krog working in. Pass to Sterling. Toe drag shot just missing off the backboards. Climby pushes it behind his own net. Battle ensues. Rollo will rip it around but not out. Welch's pass connects. Wisniewski a shot wide. Waving the wand there was Anthony Stewart, but he missed the puck. Trevor Ludwig with some room. Lead pass off the shin guards of Moore.
Ludwig did it once. He thought he could do it again, but a little high this time.
Knight couldn't get it in deep. Cole will push it deep. Cole will chase after it. Hutchinson gets to it first. Rims it out to center. Lautier swat at it. Now it's Wisniewski. Under 6 to go in the second period. 1-goal game in favor of the Wolves. As Climby, he'll leave it off for Hutchinson. Hutchinson fans out. Turnover now. Goes and kicked away by Climby.
What a play. Loose puck control by the Stars. Picked up nicely by Kipe, and a soft feed across a one-time release by Kozik, and an excellent left pad save.
Kozik looking for his first goal of the postseason, had an assist in Game 5, and boy, that's just the shooter he'd like in the slot to have the puck, but Climby kicked it away. It remains 4-3 in favor of the Wolves with 5:31 to go.
Introducing Embark, the new cutting-edge option for chauffeur-driven service in Chicago, featuring a unique fleet of stylish hybrid sedans at simple and affordable rates. Embark is Chicago's responsible choice for transportation to the airport, office, or anywhere else. Call us at 866-444-2144 or check out our website for rates and reservations at embarkchicago.com.
Welcome to the Survey Says Game Show. 100 people surveyed, the top one answer on the board, and here's the question. For fast, professional, quality plumbing service 24 hours a day, who do you call for all your plumbing needs?
Bishop Plumbing!
For the win, she says Bishop Plumbing. Survey says. For fast, professional, quality plumbing service 24 hours a day, be a winner and call Bishop Plumbing at 847-824-1800 or visit our website at www.bishopplumbing.com.
Where the winning answer is Bishop Plumbing.
Fans see the quest for the 2010 Calder Cup with a Wolves playoff pack. Prices start at $84 and include 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES.
Now let's go back to what I said, sloppy play. Here's Hutchinson. He goes to fire. He misses it completely. Kipe strips it away. Looks soft feed and one time pretty good leverage too on that. As the puck was just behind exactly where you want it, but the shot, when you look at that, I don't think Andrew got it as much as he would have liked. But a nice save nonetheless by Climby. That's the forecheck you like to see from that group too.
Andrew Kozik Playing his 6th straight game. And a nice addition back in the lineup. Back behind that wraparound try. McIntyre able to stop Gagnon. Boy, Chelios lost sight of it off the draw, and McIntyre fortunately kept an eye on the puck.
Battle down. Nice play.
Now Stapleton moving in, over to Anderson. Anderson shot missing short side, and it's over the glass, out of play. I'm a man Anderson now, a dozen assists, including one in this game.
Be nice to get a baker's dozen. That one more would be sweet. In this game, here is the Gagnon. He comes off the faceoff and goes immediately to the back of the net, and does find the loose puck and knows what he wants to do right away. Doesn't even look in front, but loses his footing. Look at the slot wide open. If that's a pass to that area, yikes. I think that was a gentle man too out there. Lurking.
Dogs settling to take the draw against Morin. Tied up at the dot. Chip towards Sterling. His shot just missed on the stick side. Pushed back towards the crease. Knocked to the half boards. Sterling battling. Loose puck. Coming away with it. Here to Lindgren now in the neutral zone. He'll dump it in. Seaver able to get to the puck first. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. Wolves leading 4-3. Here to Lindgren. Lost it to Brian Sippets. Sterling keeping his own zone, trying to chip it loose. He was tripped up, no penalty call. And now Seaver controls. Seaver guts it on net, kicked away by McIntyre. It's offsides on the Stars. And the faceoff comes out to center. Boy, Brett Sterling drew a penalty in the first period. That's the only power play the Wolves have had.
Now the Wolves had control again for a second, but that could be interference with the poke, and that's Lawrence playing the body there. You're not by the rules and the laws today. That should have been a penalty because it was poked by Sterling, and he's trying to go around, and you saw Morin move his body into the area to take him away. So as you mentioned, you make the call, or we'll make that call. We'll say that should have been a penalty.
It normally is called if it's going to create an opportunity, and it did.
Yeah. Also might have put a hole in the net with a skate.
Have to get that fixed before the third period. There's a hole there, leave it right now. Landon Wilson, exiting pass. Greg Rollo will dump it in. Wilson, the captain, behind the net. Pinned around by Kula, kept alive by Fortunas. Touch pass, Anderson defensively comes away with it. Chips it off the wall. Here to skate after it, but Hutchinson trying to paddle away. Now Fortunas pushing the pace with Ben. Hit by Crab on the open ice. Nice bump there. Chelios moving it over to his partner Artur Skulda. Stars sending forward back in the neutral zone. Greg Rello, one-man forecheck.
He can't go back. He was 3 feet from the blue line. That's got to be chipped out no matter what. Go back into your own zone.
Cormier after it. Janczewski trying to impede his progress. Mahacek to the line. Shot wide. Wraparound try, and it does not connect with Ozaflot in front. Peters will stride up the left side. Run into the corner boards. Loose puck. 4 players scrumming for it. Janczewski pushing it over. Stevenson shot off the ankle. That was Cormier who blocked it, and the Wolves get the clear. Cormier able to battle in 2-on-2. Has some late support. Hands it off to Mahacek. Mahacek working to the backboards. It eludes him. Funny bouncing right to Janczewski.
I thought it was going back to Wisniewski, who had a lot of time and space. It's behind you.
Boy, Wells taken hard to the backboards by Sawada. Gagnon keeping it in. He'll rim it behind the net. Wisniewski is there. Nice job of boxing out the pressure of Wautier. And gloved out to center by Anthony Stewart. Ludwig trying to spin it back in off an ankle. Wells reaching out. Finds Anthony Stewart. He'll lob it towards the Texas net. Monty paddles away from the pressure. Awaiting the Sterling. Put that in front and hit Gagnon. Sterling again controlling. Deep for pull. Off the backboards. He's forced to the corner. Now finds some room at the point. Chelios has it. Winds. Fires. Kicked away. Rebound. Picked up by Gagnon. And off the boards to center. Ben after it now. Moving in. Ben pulls up. Slows the pace and then turns it over to Anthony Stewart.
Excellent back pressure. There was no one for Ben to give it to, and you force him into a situation up against the boards. Good play by, I believe it was Sterling.
Anthony Stewart will push in. Under 2 minutes to go, period 2. Big bump by the A-train. Sterling could come away with it. Morin does. Now lost it, but following up is Garrett Stafford. He'll play it into Chicago territory. Oyster uses the shoulder. Nice play there. Here to Lindgren. Calder and keeps it alive. Behind the net, Morin after it. Tried to avoid the bump. Comes away with the puck now. And Oystrick able to recover and pin up his man. Stapleton takes it from there. Sippets has some room. Up ice to Anderson. Jancheski able to hold the zone once again. Stars gambling. Fortunas took it away. Fortunas holds it in twice.
Yeah, it's a few times now the Wolves at control. Can't get it just across the blue line, and they don't again.
Stars changing up some personnel. Wolves would like to alleviate some pressure. And Sippets using the 6'7" frame does it by gaining center and dumping it back behind the Texas net.
Much needed, and that was exactly right. Strength. Wilson, a big, strong guy, too, but he positioned his body well. Sippets did, made the line, and got it in.
Cormier will play it around. Fortunas awaits. Sends it to his partner, Jancheski. Backdoor play off a stick into the stands with 44 seconds to go in the second.
Some discussion now with all three officials about where this faceoff should happen, and it's
off the star, out to center.
So an easier place to start with 44 seconds remaining in the second period. Last few shifts pretty strong just because the Wolves tighten up a little bit with their decisions and having some trouble getting it out of their zone. They get the last change here. They pull the Krog line back on against the Gagnon line.
How do you grade their performance since the Stars pulled within one at the halfway point of period two?
Well, they haven't had as many chances. I think the Stars are feeling a little bit of pressure now. They were trailing by 2 at that time, and getting one back gives them a little spurt, but overall, the Stars have had a little better edge in the last few minutes.
Xavier a shot in on Drew McIntyre, and he will hold on. So the Stars now above their average with 28 shots in this game.
Well, I really thought in this second period at a time when the Stars were back on their heels, they looked tired, and they had some poor decisions themselves, but it has gone the other way, and the Wolves are hoping this period ends and they get back into the dressing room, regroup a little bit, talk about it, relax, and play those last 20. But a very important face-off to the right of McIntyre right now.
Stars have a 5 face-off win edge. Cole and Peters on the draw. Picked up eventually by Sawada, but he was on his knees, and the Wolves will lift it out to center. Now Mahacek working in, tangled up. It rolls out in front, and Stafford will play it up ice for Wanty. 8 seconds ago the period. Sawada in towards Peters, diving to break it up. Was Hosafo, and that will end period number 2. Billy, would you have liked a penalty call?
Well, I can't believe Mahacek, after stripping the puck away, putting himself in a situation with a breakaway, and does not have a call against him. He gets pulled down again. Turns around, and a bit of a grab from behind by Stafford, and then up the ice the puck goes, and an opportunity the other way. But a nice play by Mahacek. He's done that a couple times. This one was on Hutchinson, and thought he had himself a shot or an opportunity on a partial breakaway, but was hauled down.
Well, Don Lever will head to the dressing room, try and motivate his troops for the third as we head to the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia Retailer scoring summary. Tim Stapleton giving the Wolves a 4-2 lead with his 4th of the postseason. Joey Crabb and Matt Anderson. Anderson now tied for the league lead with 12 assists. Earned the helpers at 2:16. No quitting the Stars. Aaron Gagnon getting his 4th of the playoffs at 9:10. Trevor Ludwig and Garrett Stafford earned the helpers on that one. And it's 4-3 in favor of Chicago through 2 periods of play. Coming up in our second intermission, we profile Wolves netminder Drew McIntyre.
From where I'm skating, food should come at the push of a button.
And it shouldn't be made until you order it.
So get ready for seriously tasty supersonic cheeseburger.
It's a big and juicy burger delivered on roller skates from me.
No, me.
Hello, me.
Drive in today and try any supersonic cheeseburger.
Like our new cheddar pepper supersonic cheeseburger. And I'll give you a free medium order of tots. You're gonna love it. It's big.
It's cheesy.
It's Sonic.
Anybody want some popcorn?
Yes, please.
Have fun.
Thanks.
I smell popcorn.
Tea party only. Napkins, napkins.
Spending time together. That's the power of Orville Redenbachers.
Wolves fans, call the Corner Chef for your next event. As the official catering partner of the Chicago Wolves, their staff will plan the perfect menu, using a variety of options from box lunches and buffets to the chef's handmade desserts. Visit cornerchef.com and mention the Wolves when ordering for a 10% discount on your next order.
Check it.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Hey, hockey fans, I'm Kenny McCudden, skating and skills coach of the Chicago Wolves and director of Ice Company Hockey Schools. Our camps include more than 10 hours of ice time with a focus on skating, stick handling, passing, and shooting. I'll be joined by top professional coaches and current and former Chicago Wolves players. I look forward to seeing you on the ice this summer.
With a win tonight, the Wolves would open the Western Conference Finals Thursday night in Hamilton as they would take on the Bulldogs in Game 1 at 6:30 p.m. You can log on to ChicagoWolves.com for all the latest information. And remember, only Xfinity TV from Comcast brings you the most Wolves games, plus exclusive Wolves highlights and features on demand. As we welcome you back to the Allstate. Game 7, 7 goals so far through 40 minutes of play. The Wolves lead 4-3. Our very own Drew McIntyre had a profile earlier this season, and we bring it back to you. It's presented by Flood Brothers, the Wolves' top line for disposal and recycling.
My father was a goalie. A couple of my older cousins were goalies, and it was just a natural. They're from a very small town, so it was like all the teams were McIntyre goalies. PEI there's about 150,000 on the whole province. As far as I'm concerned, obviously, I think everybody says this about their hometown, but there's, in my mind, there's no better place to raise a family than that place. My wife is amazing. The stuff that we've gone through, that she's just kind of stuck by me. Every new city, every kind of tough time off the ice that we've had, and moving back and forth. The stuff that they go through, the wives that, people really don't understand. She's been my rock, and doesn't complain, and she's been amazing. My wife is Karen, and when we first started dating, I kind of called her Care Bear. So I put that on a few years ago. I got a lot of flack for it, but whatever. And then once we had our little one, she's holding onto a little Care Bear. Back home, our main industry is potato farming, and that's kind of our claim to fame. I wanted a way to kind of bring PEI onto my helmet. Milwaukee was painted as dressed up as a pirate, and this year I totally, I thought it'd be really cool. My wife and I are big fans of Oprah. So one of them is her sitting on the couch with a camera in front of her. The other one is Michael Jordan. Two people that I really, have a lot of respect for, that are from the city. I think that's where kind of people noticed my faith was just because I started putting it on my chin. I put a different verse on all the time.
Thanks all for coming. This is, you know, the team approached me earlier in the season.
It's something that I applaud, you know, the Wolves for not being afraid to kind of show that. And when they approached me with that, you know, with that night, with the fellowship night, I was really impressed.
I'm a goalie, and I kind of, one of the perks of my job is that you can design your own helmet. You can get your helmet painted whatever way you want. And, you know, I have a quote on the, I have a big cross on my chin with a quote from the Bible. I don't know if anybody's seen, you know, I know that they were giving out a few of the Breakaway, the team magazine that they have, and there was an article about my tattoos. And, you know, I think that's where I got my first tattoo, is my family crest. And then I'm Scottish, so it was my family kind of tartan. And then I went, and I'm not, I don't want any of the kids to go home and say I got to get tattoos. I definitely don't encourage it, but, you know, that quote from the Bible, that Philippians 4:13, kind of when I, you know, that was what was, I kind of really, you know, made a priority in my life and kind of lived by that quote for quite a while, and, you know, so much that I, you know, got it tattooed on me.
But if my wife and my mother are watching, then no more. No, they're, I have spots open, and I did it for my, I have a footprint with my daughter's, her footprint when she was born with her name. So obviously I'm going to do that with every kid we have, kind of walking along my kind of side. You know, I'm more of a kid than, you know, my daughter has got quite an imagination on me, and I think that's one of the things I want to bring out in her. You know, I just love, I think that's one of the best things about kids is their imagination.
Where do we start?
Everywhere.
Garage cleaning runs on Duncan? America runs on Duncan. With the big chocolate taste of our delicious mocha iced coffee. Just another one of our refreshing iced coffee flavors. America runs on Duncan. Hurry in today and enjoy any 16-ounce iced coffee for only 99 cents.
Initiating Comcast Xfinity upgrade in 3, 2, 1. TV, phone, and internet rebooting. Welcome to the fastest internet speeds. Triple the HD channels. The most movies and shows on demand, and now online. Welcome to more choice, more control, more speed, and more HD than ever before. Welcome to Xfinity, only from Comcast.
Come with me on a journey. Come walking with dinosaurs.
Never before has prehistoric Earth come to life in a theatrical event so grand it will inspire, amaze, and captivate audiences around the globe. The event that's been over 65 million years in the making. Walking with Dinosaurs, the Arena Spectacular. July 28th through August 1st at Allstate Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Arena box office, Ticketmaster, by phone or online.
Welcome back to the Allstate. Time now for the Curly's Barbecue AHL out-of-town scoreboard. Always pulled, never shredded. Curly's Barbecue. Well, the Eastern Conference Finals get underway tomorrow, and the Hamilton Bulldogs already advanced, so we've got no out-of-town scores to show you. So let's show you the AHL playoff leaders. Anthony Stewart with 9 goals, second in the league. Of course, former Wolves player. Giroux leading the league so far. Matt Anderson has now moved into a tie with 12 assists. He and Keith Aucoin of the Bears have 12 helpers. Anderson with an assist in this game so far. In fact, assisting on the go-ahead goal right now for Tim Stapleton. When we come back, Billy will have a highlight of that dish to Stapleton and all the stats that you need to know. It's 4-3 in favor of the Wolves. Game 7, West Division Finals. Winner moves on to take on the Bulldogs.
True or false? People who switch from Geico to Allstate save $373.
False.
It is false. They actually save more. An average of $473 a year. Now that's the right answer. Geico says 15 minutes could save you money. But it takes less than 15 seconds to tell you this. Drivers who switch from Geico to Allstate saved an average of $473 a year. Time to switch to Allstate.
Looking to secure your home or business? Look no further than Protection One. Our team of more than 3,000 professionals serve each home or business as if it were ours. From camera monitor DVR setups to fire detection, our range of advanced products make it easy to configure your ideal system. Protection One's eSecure allows you to access and control your security system through your computer or cell phone. Protection One, your best choice for affordable home and business security systems.
See the quest for the 2010 Calder Cup live and up close with a variety of Wolves playoff ticket packages, including the Playoff Pack, Playoff Flex Pack, or Playoff Group Packages. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES.
In this fairy tale, the prince isn't charming. Where are the others? The princess is a wreck. There's a donkey with attitude, and the only hope is a hero named Shrek.
Now there's a shocker.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Shrek the Musical, live on stage. Coming to the Cadillac Palace Theater. Tickets available at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Welcome back to Allstate Arena, 4-3 in favor of the Wolves after 40 minutes of play. Let's look at our highlights. Brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Morin with a face-off, gets some help, but Stapleton will come in and take it away. Makes a nice play up to Kraft. Kraft waits it out, and that's just such a super backhander. Stapleton, boy, he surprises the defense with his speed, gets in behind, and makes no mistake with a roofer. His fourth, Kraft and Anderson, the assist at 2:16. And the Wolves with control of the puck, just get it across the blue line. Stafford, Ludwig right up the gut, and Gagnon has a breakaway, and a strong move he makes. The Wolves got caught to change the defense. Very tough in the second period, and Gagnon in all the way. His fourth, Ludwig and Stafford the assist at 9-10. Pepsi stats, every generation refreshes the world. Shots in favor of the Stars, 29-23. Scoring chances, 3 better by the Stars, 18-15. Faceoffs in favor of the Stars, 22-18. Turnovers, a ton of turnovers in this game. 31 for the Stars and 29 for the Wolves.
Hey, are you looking for a great idea for the hockey players in your family? Enroll them in the new Ice Company Chicago Wolves Summer Hockey Camps. It's led by the Wolves skating and skills coach Kenny McCutcheon. Each week-long camp includes more than 10 hours of ice time with a focus on skating, stick handling, passing, and shooting. There'll be classroom sessions and dry land training from the area's top professional skills development coaches. Each camp also includes a special visit by current and former Chicago Wolves players, and each camper will receive a special Wolves keepsake jersey. Call 815-356-1188 or visit ChicagoWolves.com to register. Don't miss out, Billy. Space is limited.
So an exciting time for the fans. Game 7. And it's time for our Flood Brothers American Hockey League Calder Cup date. The Wolves top line for disposal and recycling. The Wolves disposed of the Admirals in 7. Took them a while. An easier time for Texas over Rockford, 4 straight. So both those teams move on. And here we are in Game 7 again. The series tied at 3. Let's look at the North Division. The Bulldogs beat the Moose. It took them 6 games. The Amherst, they got upset by the heat. It was really hot in Rochester. 4 games to 3. That was a 7-game series. Abbotsford moved on, and the Bulldogs last night won 4-0 over Abbotsford to move on. 4 games to 2. Now the Bulldogs were up 2-0 with about 2 minutes left, and Kyle Raymond called a penalty against Abbotsford. And of course, Hamilton scores, made it 3-0, and then scored an empty netter.
Yep. Wolves trying to punch their ticket for a game there. You're up by a goal in the 3rd period, Billy. What type of game do you try and play here in the 3rd? It's been kind of a shootout with 7 goals through 40 minutes of play.
Well, it has been wide open. A lot of mistakes in the sense of the pucks bounced awkwardly for both teams. You don't want to be playing defensive hockey. You want to play like you have been, and hopefully play in the offensive zone as much as possible. The Wolves are an offensive team. They need to keep playing that way, but be smart in your own zone. As we see Drew McIntyre hopefully he can hold the fort, because if he doesn't let it in, the Wolves will advance.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, down by the penalty box, and one of the regular doormen for the home team, Earl, and I can't say your last name, Earl, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But he's not been feeling well, missed the last couple of games, and Earl, we're thinking of you. Hopefully he is back for the next series.
Yeah, we miss seeing you on camera. The Wolves go to the penalty box. GNC, live well as we get set to drop the puck. 3rd period, Game 7. Wolves up by 1. Tension at the All-State. A lot at stake in the final 20 minutes, and the Wolves will work on the attack. Cormier after it. Play away by Kwame. Picked up by Hosapo over skates and Peters. Out to center. Pass to Watkey. Big blast kicked away by McIntyre. First shot of the period in favor of the Stars. They have 28 through 2. Cormier back the other way. Will dump it in. Big shoulders of Sawada, but he was hit hard by Hosapo.
Yeah, he's been very strong.
Cormier coming away with it. Knocked down. And now Jancheski will play it to the weak side.
Good change also by Cormier and Hosapo.
Ajier hit by Crab.
I spoke to Riley after the last game. I thought he played one of his best games all year long. Very strong.
Tim Stapleton. Last Wolves goal scorer. Lets it go. Just missed low on the stick side. Now it's Crab. Dumping it deep for Stapleton. Wrapper on try. Broken up. Ben lost it to Chelios. He throws it to the line for Anderson, but off his stick it comes to center, and he'll regroup with Arthur Skuba.
Tough play. I was thinking no chance for Stapleton on a wraparound on his backhand. Well, that stick he's got.
Joey Crab.
He'd have better luck turning the stick over and playing ringette.
Yeah. He's in the knob there. They sometimes do in practice on the D-zone coverage. Crab putting it out in front. Climbing, turns it away. Crab got a little insurance goal in Game 6 in the 3rd period to make it 2-0 Chicago. The Wolves went on to win by that score. Sippets has it now behind his own net.
Great play by Oyster with Sevier all over his back. Was going to take him. He just touched the puck for Sippets. He laid it back for Sippets behind the net.
Pass picked off by Morin in the neutral zone. Sippets trying to pin him up. Pass to the slot. Knocked away by Oyster. Off the corner boards right to Jancheski. He guns it over the glass and out of play.
Just touched someone on the way by. I think Anthony Stewart. But it started again with puck possession and not quite getting it out at the blue line.
Talking to Dan Jancheski before the game. He played a Game 7 back with the Iowa Stars, their inaugural season. They lost to the Milwaukee Admirals. Jordan Tutu getting sent down by Nashville. A timely transaction for the Admirals as they went on to win, thanks to his game winner. Off the face-off, picked up by Landon Wilson. Wells will rim it around. Nice break off the board. Stevenson will pitchfork it back in.
I think everyone thought that was going to be icing because it was shot so fiercely by Welch are on the boards, but a funny bounce.
Morin now tangles up Welch. Great one-man forecheck there. Wisniewski muscling for the puck. Morin trying to fight himself loose there. Boy, great effort there from the Minnesota.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Brooklyn center, Minnesota native.
Just wondering why Noah Welch did not get rid of that puck. He put himself into a real tough situation.
Figured if you were to call. Now Morin, a shot turned away by Drew McIntyre. Back out in front, pinball's loose. Morin had his stick lifted, then shot wide by Rallo. Stafford has it. Boy, it's been a fire drill since the Wolves couldn't get it out. They had control in their own zone. Morin bouncing off another check. Looking towards the slot, leaves it off for Janczewski. Rallo, short side stop by McIntyre. Loose again, and Kozik will come up ice.
Good play by Andrew Kozik to drop back in. He actually took 2 men and won the puck and got it down. But that all started with Noah Welch behind the net. No pressure whatsoever, and I'm not sure why he didn't move it. I'm not sure what he was looking at or didn't see. But because of that, that was sustained pressure for a good minute.
Spun back behind the Chicago cage. McCulloch with the goal this game. Will play it to the point. Ludwig shot blocked by Cormier. Picked up by Baudouin. Out in front, Chelios broke it up. Kept alive by Stafford. He's shouldering the corner. McCulloch slips loose. Steadies it off the stick of Ludwig, and Ludwig has to track back into his own end.
Well, that's the cause of good pressure defensively and forcing a bad pass. Reading the plays, getting in better position. The Wolves need to step it up a bit.
Trick right up the gut. Challenged by Ben. The breakout pass off of Stapleton and all the way down. Fortunas gets some help from Gagnon. Played ahead for Sevier. Sevier off the check of Crab. Working in 2-on-1 to the slot. Fortunas shoots. He scores.
Just a bad recognition through the neutral zone. You cannot force. It's an odd man situation. You got to play defense and be smart. Ended up being an odd man situation for Fortunas. I talked about it in the second period. The most dangerous players for the Stars would be their defense. And if Fortunas jumps up with a rush, you can't play like that on Sevier. That is not a very good recognized play defensively. Taking himself, Joey Crab, out of the play makes it an odd man situation. And a nice shot by Fortunas. Maybe a little tick off of Anthony. Was it Brian Sippets? Brian Sippets going down. Does it touch him? Maybe on the way by. Wow. Well, really a poor start to this period. They've been backpedaling and playing in their own zone for the first 4 minutes.
So the Stars, for the second time in this game, rally from 2 down. We're tied at 4. Fortunas getting his second goal of the postseason. Ben now shoulders down. Chelios comes away with the puck to Sevier out in front. Off the stick of McIntyre. Sevier and Ben assist on Fortunas' second at 4:09. Grab back in the offensive zone. Hutchinson plays it loose to Ben. Ben buys some time and gives it to the goal scorer, Fortunas. Up ice for Gagnon. 5 shots already in this period for the Texas Stars. Wolves don't have one on target. Krog will cross it. His shot turned away. Lead off for Anthony Stewart. Ends up at the backboards.
And that's a shame because this goaltender has been struggling. He hasn't been the sharpest. You need to get some pucks at him.
24 shots for the Wolves. Back in. Anthony Stewart lets it rip. Climbing looking around, but it's in his gear.
That's a good one. Because that puck was knuckling. Nice play by Jason Krog when he entered the zone. He has head up all the way down the boards. And look at this puck on end when he makes the pass. It's a one-timer, and it's a bullet on end. And a good stop by Climbing. Prior to that, here's the shot by Krog right up the seam. And that one not played cleanly from Climbing. And a rebound that jumps around, and Stewart nor Krog could find it.
5 minutes gone by in this third period for the Stars. Just what they were looking for, an early goal to tie the game. Wolves on the attack. Hotcheck couldn't get it deep. And out to center, Stevenson rink wide. Off the stick of Wache behind Drew McIntyre. Slowly through the restricted area so he couldn't play it. Oh, it's awful now. To Cormier. Spins off the bump, make sure it gets out to center. Following up Wisniewski, he'll pick up. Moving in, 1-on-2. Wisniewski to the outside, backing a shot blocked by Janczewski. Wisniewski controlling once again, reaching in, Wache. Now Janczewski controls and he moves it to center. Goes up over to Welch. Welch will pick up. Dumped in off of Krog's stick. Climbing will leave it off for Dan Janczewski. Wins Windsor native would love a chance to play his former team, the Bulldogs, in round 3. Right up the gut. Long lead pass. Avoids everyone. Icing being signaled, and the Wolves will get an offensive zone face-off as Krog touches up.
Well, they need to start playing in the offensive zone. This is quite a different look. We've seen a lot of this throughout this game, but both forwards on the wings of the Stars were actually in the zone of the Wolves, waiting for the play to develop from behind their net, and the Wolves all back too in that same area. The exiting pass, not a good one, went down for icing. The Wolves start in the offensive zone.
Off the draw, back to Sippets. His shot got through, blocked by Clemmy, or maybe it was Anthony Stewart.
Good play by Janchetski too, because that rebound was going right to Sterling's stick. Just nudged it by him.
Greg Rallo trying to nudge it towards the corner now. Taken away by Nathan Oystrick. He moves it to Sippets. He'll gun it in from center. Played around towards Anthony Stewart. Couldn't work it deep. Hit a high stick. And as it's touched up by Rallo, the draw stays in the offensive zone for the Wolves. Tied at 4. Game 7. Winner advances.
This is your captain speaking. We are 14th in line for takeoff.
Beep, beep, beep. Looks like it's bumper to bumper on the interstate.
I gotta get to Cleveland.
Should have skipped that second soda.
Remove your belt, your watch, your shoes.
I wonder what gas costs today.
$7 for a pillow. An extra bag costs what?
I hate traffic.
The train is now arriving.
The train has arrived indeed. Amtrak. Enjoy the journey.
Proud to stand on our own, proud to be homegrown, a familiar face and a name you know. Come on, we know you, we know your needs, we know what being a neighbor means, and got a reputation to uphold. Can you hear that? Fuel in the American spirit. No matter when, no matter where, Marathon will take you there.
13:25 remaining in the third period. 4-4 is the score in the 7th game of this series. It's time for our impact play of the game. That was awful. With a shorthanded marker, that was a big one near the end of the first period. He stripped the puck from Stafford, went in, and scores a beauty underneath Climby, and that is our impact networking play of the game.
Now that gave the Wolves their second lead of the game, and it's the second time Mahachek was able to do that trick. Maybe he can pick up the hat trick and give the Wolves one more lead in this one.
Wolves only with one power play in this game. And that's an area that also was discussed by the Stars, Gulletson and company, about staying out of the box and not giving opportunities to this team that has been so deadly on the power play.
The Wolves have scored power play goals in the prior 6 games of this series, going 8 for 25 on the man advantage. Eric Gagnon off the boards, right to Jamie Benn with Sevier. Pass picked up by Sevier, has a step on Kulda. Save made by McIntyre, penalty call coming up. And it'll just be a penalty. The Stars are calling for a penalty shot, but they will get their 4th power play over 3 on the man advantage.
That's a nice play to create the opportunity with a long pass, and honestly, this is the Wolves getting caught flat-footed again. There's the long feet. Maybe a little bit of a tip that goes in Sevier's favor, but Anders Kulda has to take him down. Otherwise, he's right in on top of Drew McIntyre, and after the fact, he certainly still is. And his puck almost goes in. That's a nice extended left leg, and better coverage coming back to sweep up the loose puck, because it was still alive.
Last time the Wolves were shorthanded, they were able to score a goal. Spencer Mahachek, you just got a good look at it on our impact networking play of the game. 7 shots on 3 power plays for the Stars. Their first 2 power plays were very good in this game, Billy.
They really were. They moved it around. They looked deadly.
Stafford will leave it off for Jamie Benn. Brandon Wilson trying to screen out in front.
See that, Ben? Telling Lindgren where to go. He wanted something a little bit different.
Still controlling the puck is Ben.
Obviously, they've got something set up.
Shot by Stafford, broken up, and then off of Welsh. It comes to McIntyre, and he will cover.
There might be a discussion here. Ben talking with Lindgren now, and he's the captain out here on the power play, and obviously with his talent, he was telling Lindgren where to go. He finally moved to another area, and Stafford with a shot on target, blocked by Welch in front, then dropped down, and McIntyre able to get a glove on it, pull it back in underneath his body to get a whistle. Very patient look though, but the Stars were in no hurry. They wanted to set up something, and in no hurry to set the puck towards the net until they got everybody in place.
There to Lindgren, controls the puck, then lost it to Joey Crabb. He will clear it out. Lindgren had 15 assists on the power play during the regular season.
No, Welch not very happy with the linesman and felt that he was in the way, because I thought off the faceoff he could get to the puck, but he couldn't because the skate was in the way.
Dished off for Ben. Dragging it behind the Chicago net, plays it around. Stafford at the line. Half boards again for Ben. 75 seconds to go in the Star power play. 4-4 game. Game 7 of the West Division Finals. Stafford trying to get it deep. Off the glove of Sippets. Picked up by Lindgren. Spins it towards the slot. Good presence there by Sippets, but he couldn't clear it out. Going high in the air was Hutchinson. Hold this up. Ben checks up. Rebound goes to the backboard. Controlled again by Lindgren. Trying to force a pass through to Ben. Ben will now play to the point. Hutchinson controls. Slows it down in the corner for Lindgren. Moving away from the pressure of Welch. Challenged by Hosopel. Got the pass through to Ben. Now one time for Hutchinson. Kick to it. Rebound was out of the reach of Stafford. And nudged out to center by Mahachek.
Great stop by McIntyre because he was able to kick it so far into the corner. If that lays around, that's trouble. Terrific stop.
Mannion ties up his man. Rowell comes away with the loose puck. Power play sets up again for the Stars. Hutchinson. Mid 24 seconds to go. Floats it on net. Off of the defenseman. Wells cleared out by Stapleton.
And Sippets also. That's nice boxing out. Very good play. The two defensemen were out there for almost the entire 2 minutes. They were exhausted.
Chalio is hit by Watte, but he clears the puck. Oistrid, final seconds of the penalty kill, moves it over to Chelios. He was hit by Watte. Kula out of the box, rolls up ice. Kula has the puck. He'll dump it in. The Stars 0 for 4 in the power play. They had one shot on that man advantage. Horn able to chip into safety. Shinowski tried to play it back in and hit the traffic as we approach the halfway point of this third period.
Anthony Stewart just put his hands up. He was trying to protect himself. His stick was by his side. Wyszewski hit his stick on the dump in. That's why it was offside. Here's the good stop in the clear in front. Nice play by Brian Sippets in front. Brian Sippets with a good move on Wilson and had a lot of trouble. And because he was on his backhand and he had bodies around him, he did the right thing. He made a nice strip of the puck and then threw it up the middle, but it was kept alive. Not the blue line, but really strong in front of his own net to at least stop the first chance.
Nice stop by Drew McIntyre there. When they're offsides on the Wolves, McIntyre, the busier of the two netminder, he's turned aside 34 of the 38 shots.
Now the Wolves came into this period with 23, so they've only had 2 almost halfway through this third period here at home.
9 shots for the Stars. We tied the game. Now Sterling looking out in front for Krog. His stick tied up. Yes. Back, and he scores! The captain!
Yikes.
That was a wicked backhand.
That was a chisel, wasn't it? Oh. You can hear it hit the bar. Well, it starts with Anthony Stewart, the A-train, getting in deep on the corner of the left side of Climbing. He throws it down low, and Brett Sterling makes a nice feed. Here it is. Stewart, first on it, right back to Sterling. Sterling looks, throws it to the front once, and gets a second opportunity. Stevenson had the puck glance off him. It comes back, and this is the poke job by Sterling. And look at that backhander just under the bar with Sawada right beside Krog, and he has his team the lead again.
I don't think we ever would have expected 9 goals in a game 7 with these two teams that primarily are defensively structured.
Yeah. The A-train keeps his streak alive.
Yes. He now has points in 8 games. Sterling and Stewart get the assist at 9:45 on Krog's 5th of the postseason. And an icing against the Stars as we're halfway through the third period. The Wolves back up by 1. How about the play of Jason Krog, timely in front of the net?
Well, that is true. And they needed a big shift after the penalty and a lot of pressure against them in the next shift. So very important after a penalty kill, and the Wolves come out with their top line. And Jason Krog dents the net.
Played his 100th Calder Cup playoff game in game number 6. Added to that total, he's got a lot of experience. Played a game 7 with the Anaheim Ducks against the New Jersey Devils. The only game 7 that he lost in his career. But boy, what a sour taste he said that one was. So close to the Holy Grail. Seavier's shot turned away by McIntyre. Now out to center. Tim Stapleton. He will dump it in. Stevenson will leave it off for Garrett Stafford, who still gets the boo-birds as he was suspended for 3 games after elbowing Kevin Dole in game 2. Fans have not forgotten as Stafford winded it up, turned it over. Cormier on the counter. Ludwig is back. Cormier looking towards the slot. Not a lot of options, so he rims it around. Hozoffel in the right wing corner. Pinned up by Stafford. Battling was Hozoffel. Cormier trying to come away with it. Hozoffel controls. 2 stars come in. Now Mahachik deep. He got it back behind the net. Taken away. And now Bourne will steady it behind Drew McIntyre. He'll play it. Where? Glove down to Bourne. Now towards the slot. Bouncing puck. And Hozoffel will get it out.
Well, Drew McIntyre had all the time in the world. In fact, you could tell there was a lot of instruction by players who were coming back. And he threw it right up to the boards, and there was no one there but a Stars player.
Turn over to McCulloch, and his shot just wide. McCulloch trying to get after it along the backboards. Now to the corner, playing it up top. Fortunas over to Hutchinson. Out in front, bouncing puck. Oh, and it changed directions at the last second, went wide. Morin fires it out in front, broke it up. Sterling gets the clear to center, and he will control now, working in with Krog. Up on the rush, Stewart blasts it wide. Off the boards, it comes back out to center.
Oh, that's a great chance. That shot must have just missed on the far side by Stewart. Nice play by Sterling, and his little chisel out of the zone and his great speed, able to collect the puck and get that offensive opportunity.
Well, will quickly play it around to Matt Anderson. Up ice with Johnny Poole. Anderson in, takes the long route, put it on net.
That's okay.
And Climby was there.
That's what you want. Make him freeze it.
A lot at stake here in a 5-4 hockey game. Johnny Poole battling there. Krog giving the Wolves the lead. The captain coming through in the clutch.
This Chicago Wolves telecast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of the Chicago Wolves. No unauthorized use is permitted.
Mommy, what does VEGETABLES spell?
Well, honey, that spells vegetables. Oh, wait, I want her to eat it, but I can't lie. Lying's bad. Mommies don't lie. You get grounded for lying. And how am I going to drive the carpool if I'm grounded?
There's a full serving of vegetables in every bowl of Chef Boyardee, and that's no lie. It's obviously delicious, secretly nutritious.
At Kia, we're proud to have gone where no other car company has gone before. The Kia Forte offers impressive standard horsepower with fuel efficiency, class-leading space, class-leading standard advanced technology, and class-leading standard safety features, and was awarded a top safety pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. When you add it all up, the Kia Forte is the obvious choice over the Corolla and Civic. And right now, lease the Forte for $149 a month.
Game 7, Wolves up by 1. 7.5 roughly remaining in the third period. Hey, enjoy the Calder Cup playoffs with a playoff flex pack. You get 10 ticket vouchers that can be used in any combination throughout the postseason. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES. No yawning in game 7s, is there, Billy?
No. It's a little bit more exciting than that.
A nail-biter. These two teams facing off for the 15th time this season. Each has 7 wins, and Cormier just missing the feed from Mahachik out in front.
You can hear him yelling for the puck. And Mahachik quickly stripped the puck from Stevenson, made the play to the front, and you watch, I'm sure they'll change up their D here. No.
Stevenson not happy with Mahachik. They have words right now.
They like the gift. Let's go back to the opportunity, though, for Texas. They had a couple of nice, strong minutes. And at the point, a little feed through off a leg or two, and a tomahawk chop. Oh, and that just misses the left-hand side. Drew McIntyre in the net.
The chop stops here, Billy.
That's awful Braves of you.
Yes. Oh, there's Welch throwing it into the stands. Fortunately, it was the offensive zone, not the defensive zone.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, though, because when he got the puck, I think he looked up and he really saw that there was nowhere to go with it. He couldn't go back to his partner, and he couldn't turn his body, so he threw it back to the glass, but it was elevated just a little bit too high.
Those fans ready for it?
Yeah.
7:19 to go in the third period. Wolves leading 5-4. Jason Krog giving Chicago their third lead of the game at 9:45 from Brett Sterling and Anthony Stewart. Fortuna's tied it in the third. Wolves trying to hold on to a lead here now as Mahacek, the safe play, will dump it all the way down and get the much-needed change without a lot of pressure.
Well, that's what you'd like to have happen. That's why the other time before the break I talked about throwing the puck on net, first climbing to play it or hold on to it. You'd rather have a face-off in the offensive zone than let them just settle it down and move out of the zone.
Stafford starts a controlled breakout. Ludwig will play it in. Caroms around to Sevier. He has been very noticeable in this game. Sure 7 in black. Now it's Ben. Shot off the traffic and wide out in front. Canyon battling with Chelios. Sevier coming in to help out the cause. Chelios whips him to the ice, comes away with the puck, slides it over to Kula. Kula takes his time to center. Great wide pass just out in front of Crab.
Are you kidding?
That's going to go for an icing.
Goodness, it's right under the stick of Crab. What happened to the rule when you could pass it and it had to be, if it was close to the stick, they would negate the icing?
Apparently they changed it on the fly.
Nice play by Chelios, winning a battle in the corner, throws it across to Kula. Now Kula head up all the way, makes the line. Look how close that is to being touched. Icing it was, I guess.
He's off on the glove side of Drew McIntyre. Behind the net now. Morin to move away from the pressure. Fortuna sending it over. Hutchinson, one-timer. He scores off the post and in. We're tied at 5.
Well, it starts with the icing. And a lost face-off. And a long shot that eludes Drew McIntyre. Boy, this shot had the accuracy, but maybe not the speed. There's the battle down low. Point to point, Fortunas, and a one-time. Look how slow that was going. But it had eyes. And this game is unbelievably ridiculous. Oh, my goodness. Kulda threw a skate back and redirects that puck, completely changing the direction. Wow.
40th shot for the Stars, and we're tied at 5 with 6 minutes to go in the third period of a Game 7. Hutchinson getting his 4th of the postseason. And an icing against the Wolves will give the Stars another opportunity to draw up another offensive zone faceoff. Fortunas and more on the assists at 13:50.
Well, that's one of the reasons why you don't stick a body part out when it's going by you. It glances right off the blade. It changes so dramatically. No wonder McIntyre wasn't able to play it.
Sevier behind the net, wraparound try, broken up. Sevier pushing it to the point now. Jancheski over to Stevenson. Stevenson's wrist or through, stopped by McIntyre. That one skipped on net.
Is that sip and stick that redirected?
Boy, tips at both ends. Hutchinson was victimized in the first period, and Mahacek goes off his skating in. Gets a bends off of Kula's skating in.
It's true.
Jancheski a lead pass. And across the line, the Stars are offsides. You're thinking probably now next goal might win this one. Under 6 minutes to go, tied at 5. Game 7. Winner advances to take on the Hamilton Bulldogs.
You have multiple cars and multiple toys with multiple places to go. So be smart Simplify, combine, and save. Get all your insurance from one Allstate agent, and you can get multiple discounts on your multiple policies. Simpler is smarter. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
5-5 the score with 5:24 to go in the third period of Game 7. Hey, fans, share the fun and excitement of Wolves playoff hockey with a group. Groups of 15 or more save up to $7 per ticket. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES.
Well, the Wolves have scored a goal in this period, but they still really only have 4 shots on target. And here we are, tied now, 5.5 minutes remaining. You'd like to see them play in this latter portion of the third in the offensive zone and get back on track the way we know and have seen them play at times.
Wells playing it over to Wisniewski coming up ice. Wolves top line out there. Anthony Stewart lines, fires, and it blasted wide off the backboard.
A stick broke in half.
Get a lot on it. Hutchinson controls now. And a force a turnover, Brett Sterling. Instead, Bourne comes away with it. Reading it up ice. Brandon Wilson from center. Roller high off the chest of McIntyre, and he will hold on.
Well, he was able to use the fact that he had a right winger moving in too. He could have fed that puck off, but he held on to it, pulled it in, and threw a high one on Drew. This one handled easily off the chest. No rebound. But the Wolves, with 5 minutes remaining, have to start from their own zone again. And I thought a couple of nice plays. A face-off win in the neutral zone. The Wolves got control of it. Both defensemen got hit. The players from the Stars both went down. And one held on to Welch's stick, so he couldn't get up with the play either. Otherwise, it would have been an odd man situation all the way up the ice for the Wolves.
To take the face off against Peters. It comes to the half board. Sippett's tied up by 2 Stars. Cole trying to help out the cause now. It's Wache and Sawada, the big bruising winners for the Stars, working in the corner. Comes straight to Spencer Mahachek. A pair of goals in this game. Not a lot of options. Gives it to Sippett. Gap closed on him. Sawada from his knees trying to centering pass. And Sippett was there defensively. Peters comes away with it on the half boards. Cole trying to take it away. Peters still controlling, battling 2 Wolves. It stays lodged along the rail. It's a good look at the work.
It's good if you're killing a penalty.
And Sawada able to muscle it loose for Wache. Withrick trying to take him off the puck. Work 3 to Peters. Good long shift with pressure for the Stars. Sawada from Wache, sent it just wide. That's what all that work was for, that one play.
That's exactly right. And boy, defensively, you have to be sharp. You can't let that guy get positioned on you. Wache did.
Wache now wraparound try. Stopped by McIntyre. Pulling the backhand. Will push it to center.
A long shift defensively. Both teams really get changes. Johnny Cole, the only player with Nathan Oyster that had to stay on.
Loose puck in front of the Wolves bench, and it hit Matt Anderson, so that will halt play.
So the Wolves will start from center ice. Going back, I said there was 5 minutes exactly remaining, and that whole minute 20 is in the Wolves zone. A lot of running around, and boy, Francis Wache found a seam to get ahead. There's a wraparound though prior. Good play that snuffed out by McIntyre. Wache had a pretty good chance, but he missed on the short side.
Right in by Maxime Fortunas. The Chelios, now Joey Crabb out to center looking for some room. Drags it across the line. Now Stapleton trailing. Stapleton controlling the puck, now moving to the corner. Trying to connect behind it. That was Crabb, broken up by Fortunas. Base scrum for control on the backboards. 3 to Morin. Morin pressured, but still maintains control of the puck. Now Fortunas will avoid the pressure of Crabb. Out to center. Here to Lindgren. Under 3 minutes to go in the third, tied at 5 off of Chelios, who now controls. Krog with the lone goal in the period for the Wolves will work in with Sterling. Krog put it off the ankle of Gagnon and out of play.
Well, he wanted to get that on target. Both guys driving it in on the opposite side and a lot of traffic going that way, but Gagnon got his foot in the way, well out. Just about 10 feet inside the offensive zone, hitting the netting, but the Wolves will start right of Climby, and another face-off win. Krog has been strong. Get a chance here quickly.
The Stars getting a goal this period off an offensive zone to face off. We'll see what Krog can create with Anthony Stewart, Brent Sterling, Noah Welsh, and Nathan Oystrick. And in the center in for the Stars. And he wins the draw back to Stevenson. Pinned up by Sterling. Supporting is Stewart. Now Sterling controlling. Moves it up top. Welsh, wristed off the traffic and wide. Picked up by Oystrick. Laying behind the net for Krog. Krog chips it loose. Anthony Stewart behind the net trying to put it out in front for Sterling. Stewart staying strong. Battling with Janchevsky. Now he's able to escape. Recovering was Gagnon. Couldn't clear it out. Krog chips it to the line. Oystrick settles it down. Over to Welsh. Welsh chasing after it. Pokes it to the corner. Picked up by Stewart. Dropped off for Sterling. Sterling cutting. Bottom of the circle. Down to the point. Picked up. Oystrick shot. One of the gloves. The stick side rather. Cleared by Sevier.
Well, those chances to get something were from both defensemen, but both shots very high and off target. Some nice battling down low by the Wolves forwards on that line, Krog's line, and working the puck and getting some chances and really cool with it. Used the points well.
Under 2 to go in regulation time. Tied at 5, game 7. Hutchinson, who tied the game, controls now to Greg Rowell. Knocked down by Mahachuk, but cleared out.
That's he playing the back game by Hutchinson to go up the middle of the ice.
Pull back the other way with Hozoffel. Hozoffel tying up with Maxime Fortunas. Picked up by Pull. Back to Hozoffel. Fortunas keeps him in check and knocks him down. Fans want to call it. Be tough to get one now.
Yeah.
Hutchinson will dump it in. Chelios laying it up the boards for Mahachuk. Realizing he has some time. Gives it to Hozoffel. Now Kulda poked off his stick. Chelios hit the linesman, and it's offsides as it came back into Chicago territory.
It might be a bit of a gift call. I'm not sure what that is. When the linesman is on the inside of the blue line, that puck never got out. Hit the linesman, came back in, and they deem it offside. I'm not sure if that is an automatic when that situation occurs, but it certainly helped the Wolves. They were tired, and they were going to have to go back in their own zone.
64 seconds remaining in regulation time. This is the 78th AHL Game 7. 14 prior have needed overtime. Wisniewski, long lead pass, broken up by Wate. He will play it back in. Alge gets to it first, sends it around. Crab out to the line, but not out. Stafford now able to work it behind the net. Wisniewski pins up his man. Crab comes away with the puck. Moving up the center. Stapleton calling for him. Crab didn't have a passing lane. Now it's a 4-on-2. Worked over. Diving was Peters to break it up. Welsh missed the follow. And now the Stars have a chance with 30 seconds to go. Into the glove of McIntyre. He'll leave it off for Anderson.
Well, I would have liked to have seen a better play towards the net instead of that long pass across. Heck of a play by Peters, but still, with the momentum and everything going towards the net, get it there.
Craw coming through center. Quick play around Ben. Ben will work in now. Gagnon controlling. His shot turned away by McIntyre and put out a play. Offensive draw with just under 10 seconds to go.
I'm not sure if it would have been better to have that stay in and the Wolves get control and try to get it out with 9 seconds remaining. Now they're going to have to contend with a face-off in their own zone. Here it is, Joey Crab. Now watch this play develop. There's a couple guys caught from the Stars, so the Wolves are going to get numbers. It's a 4-on-2. And look at Peters coming back hard and dives Superman. Had a little bit of a break. That almost went to Welch and he had a chance, but the puck never got through.
Jamie Benn comes in with some instructions. Gagnon will take the face-off. They want to pull it back to Fortunas. And why not? He's got 3 points in this game, leading all players. Tied up at the dot. Now Sterling controls. Moving out to center. Final second. Sterling with a shot that ricochets out of play. And with a second and a half. They say the face-off's going to come out to center.
I thought maybe off Fortunas. Shot was taken by Sterling. Had to hit something to get out. And they're going to go look at the clock. Maybe they'll add a second or two to give the Wolves a chance. Yeah, they're going to actually add 1 second, so it'll be 2.5. I'm not sure if you go forward on this play or do you have enough time to pull it back for a shot. And it'll be 3.5 seconds. Wow, they got 2 seconds out of that, which is pretty good.
Stars not really protesting that,
no.
so The Wolves have a chance to draw something up. Croc pulls it back to Sterling. His shot blocked as Sevier sells out. And we are heading to overtime in Game 7. Just the 15th time in AHL history.
Well, now it's a one shot, and we've seen this before. The Wolves really got to pull up their socks. Quite honestly, they got outshot badly in that third period. But 16-4? 15-4. 15-4, so you can tell where the majority of play was. The Wolves a couple of times had leads, and they just sat back a little bit too much, made some pretty big mistakes overall when you look at the situation, and it cost them. So now they've got overtime, and need more pucks on net if you're going to win.
Let's take a look at the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia Retailer scoring summary. Billy said the defense would be active in the third period. He wasn't lying, folks. Maxime Fortunas getting his second of the postseason from Sevier and Ben at 4:09. The captain, Jason Krog, would give the Wolves their third lead of the game at 9:45, his fifth of the postseason from Brett Sterling and Anthony Stewart, only to have another defenseman, Andrew Hutchinson, answer with his fourth of the postseason for Maxime Fortunas and Travis Bourne at 13:50. This one tied at 5 through 3 periods of play. Overtime in Game 7. We're back with our overtime intermission, a Johnny Poole profile.
They make little hearts happy. And big hearts happy too. Because as part of a heart-healthy diet, those delicious oats and Cheerios can help naturally lower cholesterol. Cheerios. How can something so little help you do something so big?
Cheez-It bakes so much real cheese in such small bites. People are wondering,
how does Cheez-It do it?
I know. Cheez-It.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
Hi, Dad.
lots and lots of cheese baked into little bites. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
There's a great place just around the corner that offers even more relief.
When we instituted our big relief price cut at Julasco, we told ourselves, as customers continue to tighten their belts, we would too. So we're going to keep cutting prices on even more of the items you shop for every week. The same great quality, the same great service. Only now you'll discover more savings than ever before, on top of the savings you've come to expect.
More price relief is just around the corner at Julasco.
With a win tonight in overtime, the Wolves would advance to the Western Conference Finals Thursday night in Hamilton to take on the Bulldogs in Game 1 at 6:30 p.m. You can log on to ChicagoWolves.com for all the latest information. And remember, only Xfinity TV from Comcast brings you the most Wolves games, plus exclusive Wolves highlights and features on demand. As we're back at the Allstate. Well, 14 meetings between these two teams, 7 wins aside, and I guess in Game 7 to advance, it should go to overtime, and we will. Our Johnny Poole player profile is presented by Flood Brothers, the Wolves' top line for disposal and recycling.
With the coaching change early in the year, it took a little while for us to get used to our new coach's style and the systems we want us to play, but I think once we really got those down, we've been playing really well. This is my first real season ever playing wing, so it's kind of been a learning adjustment.
Six straight
Center, you're just kind of more involved in the game. You kind of play more on both ends, where at wing, you kind of have to wait for the puck to come to you, where center, you can go get it a little more. So you have to be a little more patient at wing. I think everyone in our family, my wife and my brothers and stuff, like, you can't take yourself too seriously either. Like, life's too short to sit around your time. So we try to laugh a lot too and have fun and poke fun at each other and be able to give it as much as you take it.
Chrissy Wendell treated the faithful fans to a hat trick, scoring her third goal in spectacular fashion. During a scuffle near the net, she was blindsided by an opponent. Chrissy Wendell played some defense, so to speak.
Johnny and I met, my brother and him were college roommates and they dormed together at the University of Minnesota.
We had, seen each other at hockey games and stuff. She would come to watch her brother play, and occasionally she would stop by the dorm, but then we were just kind of friends. And then
we were instant messaging. This is how long ago it was, like 10 years ago. And
we were chatting on Instant Messenger one day, old school, and
he came to my high school graduation party and we made a bet online over a ping pong game, and then it was to be played at the graduation party.
We said that the loser had to take the winner out, and so I let her beat me.
Which I, of course, won in 3 games, and then the winner had to take the other one out for a date.
And then I called her and text messaged her or something and said, you got to collect on your bet. I have 3 brothers, so I grew up in a house of all boys, so we left the toilet seat up and walked around in our boxers and stuff all the time. So, I'm learning that I can't say certain things and that maybe I have to be a little more gentle here and there, but, for the most part, I think right now a girl isn't much different than a boy, but ask me in 15 years. I think we want to have more kids for sure. I think we want to have at least 3 and kind of just see where we are. I'd like to have a boy at some point, but it's not that I'd really want a boy to play sports or anything. I just think I think the relationship between a father and a daughter is a special thing, and I think a relationship between a father and a son is probably as special, obviously, but I think it's different. It would probably be different, so I think it'd be cool to experience both. I mean, my parents only experienced a relationship with a son because they didn't have any daughters, so now that I have 2 daughters, I would like to experience that with a son, but if it doesn't happen and we have all girls, that'd be great too. Well, I'd like to think I'm honest, loyal, and caring of others. I think my wife says sometimes I care too much about other people, and I get sad if I see other people that are sad, so I don't know, I don't like seeing people sad, so. The way the team is run, it's so first class, and it's a winning team. So, I mean, it's always fun to play on a winning team. The season gets, 80 games is really long, so if you're losing, it's not fun, but this team's a winning team, and it makes it a lot more fun.
Where do we start?
Everywhere.
Garage cleaning runs on Dunkin'? America runs on Dunkin'. With the big chocolate taste of our delicious mocha iced coffee. Just another one of our refreshing iced coffee flavors. America runs on Dunkin'. Hurry in today and enjoy any 16-ounce iced coffee for only 99 cents.
Initiating Comcast Xfinity upgrade in 3, 2, 1. TV, phone, and internet rebooting.
Welcome to the fastest internet speeds. Triple the HD channels. The most movies and shows on demand and now online. Welcome to more choice, more control, more speed, and more HD than ever before. Welcome to Xfinity, only from Comcast.
Come with me on a journey. Come walking with dinosaurs.
Never before has prehistoric Earth come to life in a theatrical event so grand it will inspire, amaze, and captivate audiences around the globe. The event that's been over 65 million years in the making. Walking with Dinosaurs, the Arena Spectacular. July 28th through August 1st at Allstate Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Arena box office, Ticketmaster, by phone or online.
5-5 headed for overtime. Yes, we are. And it's time for our highlights. They're brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Now the Wolves had a nice lead. Things look pretty rosy. Well, Sevier takes over from a crap miss. Pass back to Fortunas, and not sure if it hit Sippets on the way by, but a big roll pretty early on. 4:09 in. Fortuna's second, Sevier and Ben the assists. But the Wolves will reply right after a penalty kill and a strong one. Sterling with the puck goes all the way around to Anthony Stewart. He keeps it alive. Back to Sterling. You get two whacks at this puck. Flag in the backhand just chisels it top shelf to regain the lead at 9:45. Things looking pretty rosy at that point for the Wolves with about 10 minutes remaining, but it didn't last long. Face-off loss. This is after an icing that I thought was suspect. Morn battling Chelios. Back to the point. Fortunas one-timer, and this fan shot, not a lot on it. I thought was peculiar when I first saw it, but watch this replay. Hutchinson's shot will hit Calder, who's taking Wilson in the foot, right on the heel, and it just changes so dramatically on McIntyre to tie the game at 5. Wow. Pepsi stats, every generation refreshed the world. 44-27. That is 15-4 in the third period for the Stars. Scoring chances, 30-19. Face-offs in their favor by 5. Turnovers, though, 48-42. We'll be back with a little bit more of this overtime intermission after these messages.
You have multiple cars and multiple toys with multiple places to go. So be smart, simplify, combine, and save. Get all your insurance from one Allstate agent, and you can get multiple discounts on your multiple policies. Simpler is smarter. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Marathon brings you the overtime here at the Allstate Marathon, fueling the American spirit. Wolves 1-2, winning their last overtime game, but it took 2 overtimes for Anthony Stewart to knock off the Stars in Game 2 with the game winner. The Stars 1-1. They won Game 1 on the power play early in the first overtime. 2:22 in. Garrett Stafford on a power play. How even are these two teams, Billy? They played 8 times during the regular season, each going 4-3-1. 3 games in the playoffs. They've each won 3. And overtimes, they're 1-1, and we're headed to overtime in Game 7. 5 points separated the two teams during the regular season. And
nice push by the Stars at the end of the season to almost catch the Wolves. They won the last 2 games that they were in this building in a weekend. And it comes down just to 1 shot now. And that is why I think in overtime, anything over the blue line is on net. You saw Hutchinson's goal to tie the game. What happened there? Looked like it was just going to be a harmless shot on net. Yep. It's cooled in the foot about 10 feet out, changes direction, and changes the game. Well, no sense in feeling sorry for yourself either on this situation. The Wolves 3 times had leads and should have put this club away, but were not able to.
First Game 7 overtime in the AHL since 2006 when the Hershey Bears at home knocked off the Portland Pirates 5-4 in the Eastern Conference Finals to advance. Well, plenty of heroes in the waiting on the 2 benches here for the Wolves. Nathan Oyster, a couple goals this series. Don Lever will try and get his team to advance. As you can see, the crowd nervously awaits the GNC Live Well face-off to start overtime. Next goal wins and advances to take on the Hamilton Bulldogs. Guy Boucher and their staff probably enjoying this one, going the distance and then some.
A little extra, yeah. Especially the Wolves having to, with a win, play on Thursday. The Stars get an extra day. They would start on Friday.
Aaron Stafford, the hero in Game 1, plays it off to Janczewski. Dumped in. Peters after it, ties up with Mahacek. Mahacek leading the Wolves with 2 goals in this game. Brett Sterling also has 2 points. It's Fortunas, who has a goal and 2 assists for the Stars. Punched away by McIntyre. That was Stafford trying to end it. Watching behind the net. Lost the handle, gets it back. Drives towards the half-boards, plays it back towards Swada. Got tangled up with Wakier, the referee. Swada with control once again. It is Cormier hit hard by Peters, but found Wisniewski. Ozafa will settle it out to center.
Peters just never gives up when he's going to hit somebody. He just keeps barreling in.
Now Senior and playing over the bench. Shot kicked away, rebound. Oh, another stop by McIntyre. Early chances for the Stars, and Drew McIntyre had the answers.
Unbelievable.
Jamie Benn.
Couple of gifts.
Yeah. Not the guy you want having the puck, and now Senior takes it away. It pinballs off the skates. Stood up was Gagnon by Welch.
Relax.
I think you take the ice in here, the Wolves.
Well, there's no need for that play either. Jason Wisniewski got the puck down in the corner with no pressure. Was after a lot had taken place, and I'm sure he's exhausted. Here is the opportunity. Ben shot, nice right pad save. Another shot, another pad save. And Janczewski up in the play on the backhand has a jump over his stick for the 3rd opportunity. There's the 2nd, nice save. In fact, boy, Noah Welch almost got caught up with his goaltender McIntyre and pushed him out of position. Just going back for Wisniewski, the puck he iced it. There was no reason to. He could just stop behind the net, relaxed for a little bit, and settled everything down.
And it's the Stars throwing it in front again. McIntyre the save, and then he gets the rebound to rob Greg Rallo.
Wow, what a start here. This club had a terrific 3rd period, the Stars, and they've continued right on. And finally, the Wolves get a whistle where they can change up their lines or units, their defense after the icing, and Drew McIntyre very sharp.
The only hope that makes Matt Climby at the other end a little bit more nervous now, but you need to get some shots. Wolves only 28 in this game.
Yeah, 4-0 here early on.
And the Stars stay on the attack, pouring off the face-off to Greg Rallo at the last good look. At the line, Hutchinson, who just tied it in the 3rd period. He'll have to regroup with Fortunas. Hit by Sterling. Puck is loose, and Sterling will play it back into his own zone. It rolls towards Drew McIntyre. And again, he's forced to cover as Travis Morin was barreling in.
I think this is what happens. You have seen a couple of minutes now go by, and really quality opportunities, and you sort of don't want to be the GOAT. And instead of relaxing a little bit, taking your time, making better decisions, you get rid of the puck. It's that hot potato syndrome. You just need to settle things down here, win a face-off. Chelios, Krog, veterans on the ice.
Cheating off the draw to be expected. Face-offs in favor of the Stars, and they win that one. Now Sterling on the way. Knocked down, no penalty called there as Stevenson goes high on Brett Sterling.
Well, again, playing the body after the puck is by him. And that's happened a couple of times. I guess that rule's gone too.
Power plays in the game. 4 for the Stars, 1 for the Wolves. Now back in the slot, kicked away by McIntyre. Sevier controls. Wolves still look a little bit out of sorts in overtime as we have played just 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and there's been plenty of chances for the Stars. Now here's one 3-on-2 for the Wolves. Sterling in, over to Stewart, back to Krog, just out of his reach. Oh, what good passing, but one too many.
I don't think Krog was ready for that. If he was stronger in the stick, I think all he had to do was touch it.
Sterling lost the handle and comes to center.
Anthony Stewart looked like he was going to fire the puck, and he moved it right back to Krog. Had his stick extended, but I don't think he really thought it was going to be the case. And missed it.
Johnny Poole trying to play it deep. Broken up. Jamie Benn clearing pass out to center. Matt Baudouin will dump it in. So the Stars using their 4th line here. 3 minutes into overtime. Off the glass and out to center. It was Texas that has shortened their bench the most in this playoff series.
Well, they certainly have. They'll be outside, yep. So with them doing that, hopefully they take advantage of a tired group at times. Let's take a look at this chance. Nice play by Anthony Stewart. Krog beat the seam and really got himself into a nice position prior to that. Here's Sterling. He's going to bounce the puck by. And that's interference.
Yeah, when they changed the rules,
oh my
coming
God,
out of the lockout, that's exactly what they wanted to prevent.
You know, it's 4-1 in favor of the Stars in the power play. You know that in overtime it's a little more difficult to get a power play, but and that could have been Sterling with his speed. He could have been gone.
Now turned over in the corner, McCulloch putting it on in front, kicked away by McIntyre. Another great chance for the Stars. McCulloch lets it go. Stopped by McIntyre. Pull knocked down by Lindgren, and Oyster controls. Look at that. Boy, you think the veteran team was the Stars by the early chances. Kozik off the glass, missing the mark.
Tremendous stops by Drew McIntyre with a lot of force and very good shots, quality shots.
50 shots, 51 now for the Texas Stars. And they're on the attack again. Sawada to McCulloch. His wrister sails over and out of play, deflected off a Wolf player, so it'll stay in the offensive zone for the Stars.
So Drew's been busy, 51 shots he has faced, and in this period there's been some beauties. He has been terrific, and that's what you hope fuels the team. After seeing some of these stops, 44 shots after regulation, and now 7. And some big-time saves with the pads. It's a nice blocker, probably through traffic, too.
7-1, the shots in favor of the Stars in overtime. Wells controls off the draw. Up there with Anderson, Crab, and Stapleton, along with Wisniewski. Anderson laying it over. Wisniewski up ice off of Stapleton. Stapleton will chase after it. Climbing, lays it away. Crab awaits, put it out in front, off of Climbing, still this time in the net, and then whistled dead before it could be fished free by Stapleton.
That's the type of play that you got to make. That's a smart play. Throw it on net. And look what happened there. It was a bit of a mishap for Climbing. He was able to just get his glove back on it, and Stapleton got up after falling behind the net. Couldn't quite get to it, but you never know in those situations. And the no-look feed right to the front. Plenty of black jerseys, but Stapleton there creeping in from behind. Would have been nice to see him pull that puck out.
There's probably more ugly goals than pretty goals in overtime. Off the face-off, the Stars trying to clear it out to center. The Wolves trying to work the attack. Ozaffel. Stevenson passes it away. Now it's loose behind the net. Cormier trips up his man. That goes uncalled. Gagnon is on the receiving end, but he probably lost an edge more than anything.
Yeah, I think so.
Pulo back in his own zone. Sevier. Strong game continues for him. Now Cormier, head up, gets it over to Chelios. Ben coming in to force him. Ben took it away on the half board. Chelios will run into him. Jamie Benn protecting the puck. Gets it, shoots, he scores. The Stars will advance. Jamie Benn, who spent the entire year in the NHL, gets the overtime game winner.
So many times in this game, the Wolves had control of the puck and gave it up. And it happened again. Positionally, look at this play. Cormier with it. Going to give it to Chelios. Chelios with some time. Tries to move it up, and he doesn't put enough heat on it. Ben wants it a little bit more. Battle for the puck. Ben will come up with it. It's a little up from Seaver, just a quick release. Boy, that's a bad angle shot, but it went in. Talking about shots, they had a ton of them, and they deserved it.
Jamie Benn at 4:57 of overtime is 8th of the postseason, and the Stars will take on the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Now it was just a game of really miscues on the Wolves' part. They had enough goals to win this game here at home, had the lead 3 times, and weren't able to handle it or cope with it. And I wouldn't say it was so much the pressure. With puck possession, you just got to be better with your mental part of the game and get things out in these crucial games like this, and it just didn't happen for them in this game. And all those turnovers eventually killed the Wolves.
Well, one of the great traditions in sport is the post-game handshake, and 2 teams that battled during the entire year need overtime, but it will be the Stars that advance. Chris Chelios as he played his last pro game.
Well, I probably think so. It's just a guess from my part, but rules will remain on. Salute the fans.
One final time.
They went 94 games this year.
Stay here at the Allstate. We'll give you the Gibson's 3 stars of the game as the Wolves file off the ice for the final time in 2010 here at the Allstate Arena. A tough luck loss in Game 7, 6-5 to the Texas Stars in overtime.
The number 3 star with 1 goal and 1 assist from the Texas Stars, number 18, Maxime Fortunis. The number 2 star with 2 goals from the Chicago Wolves, number 8, Spencer Mahachek. And tonight's number 1 star with tonight's game-winning goal in overtime and 1 assist from the Texas Stars, number 14, Jamie Benn.
They make little hearts happy, and big hearts happy too. Because as part of a heart-healthy diet, those delicious oats in Cheerios can help naturally lower cholesterol. Cheerios. How can something so little help you do something so big?
Cheez-It bakes so much real cheese in such small bites. People are wondering,
How does Cheez-It do it?
I know. Cheez-It.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
Hi, Dad.
lots and lots of cheese baked into little bites. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
There's a great place just around the corner that offers even more relief.
When we instituted our big relief price cut at Julasco, we told ourselves, as customers continue to tighten their belts, we would too. So we're going to keep cutting prices on even more of the items you shop for every week. The same great quality, the same great service. Only now you'll discover more savings than ever before, on top of the savings you've come to expect.
More price relief is just around the corner at Jewel Osco.
Chicago Wolves hockey is brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, the right choice. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world. Xfinity TV from Comcast. Only Xfinity TV brings you the most Wolves games, including all away games, exclusive Wolves highlights, and features on demand. And by College Illinois, 529 prepaid tuition program. Welcome back one final time this season to the All-State Arena. There's the score, 6-5. It took overtime, but the Stars prevail. In Game 7, they will advance to take on the Hamilton Bulldogs. A wild one, 6-5 the final. Early offense for the Wolves. They had the lead 3 separate occasions, 2-goal leads twice. I guess it just wasn't in the cards here because the Wolves, quite frankly, had the chances to put this one away and didn't.
Relentless effort by the Stars, even though those situations occurred. They had 53 shots in this building. That is something to behold, I think, when you come into the opposing team's building in a Game 7, goes into overtime, and you do that. The Wolves should have won this game only because of the goal scoring. They had enough goals to win here at home, but boy, I've never seen so many poor mistakes and plays by them in a crucial situation over time. Instead of being very simple and trying to get the puck out, and hey, they're trying. But that's just the way it was. I thought some bad decisions, and it cost them. There were some goals against it that I'm sure a lot of them would love to have back.
Absolutely. Well, our Fisher not play of the game, everything ordinary. As a player, you dream of scoring the overtime game winner in Game 7.
Well, I can't believe this guy's going to score this, to be honest with you. He is a great player, but he doesn't do very much during the game. But when he gets the puck, it's a different story. Now, look at his body. Mahatic and Chelios, he wins it. And that goal should never go in from there, but it did, and that's the way it is. He just battled through 2 guys, won the puck, shot it on net, and that's something we said, get it on net, you never know, and that's what happened after Drew made some great stops in this overtime, some huge shots with the pads. You know, that angle, that shot, you'd like to have again, I'm sure, but it's funny how this guy played the whole year, 22 goals in the NHL, and gets to come down and play and really learn a little bit more about playoff hockey and pressure hockey. And it would have been nice if the Wolves were able to have that with Atlanta Thrashers, having some of their young kids play.
Yeah, well, the Wolves season started with a coaching change 6 games in. It ends in Game 7, round 2 in overtime. This organization thrives on championships and getting to the final, so it won't be successful, but maybe your thoughts on the season.
Well, it's a great team. You look at the start of this year, boy, who knew what was going to happen? I thought, and I mentioned this in the very first broadcast, and you'll remember this, I said in my 8 years it's the best team I ever saw assembled, and I really thought the talent level was extremely good, put together nicely, and he had strong goaltending. When you looked at the records from years past, he had a great defense. He had Chelios coming. Then you had all these forwards, so it looked like it was going to be a wonderful year, and it started off 1-5, and I was getting crucified, but things turned around. Donnie Lever came in, Ronnie Wilson. They set the tone. It took some time. Mid-December, they were still about 500, but boy, January, February, March, especially January, February, they turned it around, and what a run they had. I think they showed everybody in the league they were the quality team and one of the best, and finished first because of that. But playoffs were a little different story. They had some struggles, and not quite as consistent. 7 games in both series, I think, tells you that story. But the West Division, I think, by far, we don't get to see the East, but was very well balanced.
It certainly was. Billy, great working with you for another season. Was a lot of fun, and we have plenty of people here to thank tonight that make Art and